Hi, I'm Jenny. Welcome to your energy and card reading for February 2023. This month we are invited to clear the heavy energy and know that this energy is temporary. I want to thank everybody who's tuning in to watch this and who has been watching these. I really enjoy creating these and opening up and channeling. If you've never sat through one of these before, I open the Akashic Records for the collective and I ask what we need to know, energy speaking, for this month, so this cycle. And then I'll read it to you, and I suggest that you put in earbuds or something, close your eyes so you can get maybe a visual of what I'm talking about, how it pertains to you. And then I'll do a card reading. And these readings, this energy is universal. You know, we are a collective consciousness, we are all connected. The way astrology and the planets and everything move, they affect us all in a similar way. You know, it's depending on your signs and where things are in your astrological houses. However, there is always a universal theme. So this will speak to you, and a lot of these messages are all timeless as well. So if you're tuning in sometime in the future, beyond February 2023, just trust that you're at the right video at the right time. The 2022 energy at the end felt heavy, dense, almost sand-like for many people. There has been a purging at the beginning of this year. Many people have had lots of fears and shadows rise to the surface. For many, this year has started off in a struggle. But this energy is lessening with the moon cycle. As you move towards the full moon in this month, the energies might become more intense, but only temporarily. People might feel heightened or overwhelmed, might feel this heaviness and make it feel all the more heavy. You might feel almost like your skin is too tight or your life is too small. This is because there is a big shift coming in, big waves of change. It is important at this time to clear your energy, to sit, to pray to your angels and guides, and ask them to clear your energy, to use a clear quartz crystals or selenite to clear your energy. Use sacred smoke or water, salt baths and showers, walking out in nature, deep cleansing breaths, yoga, drink lots of water, eat fruits and veggies, detox. Anything that you can do to help push this energy through you and out of you. By the time the full moon happens, things will have shifted and be different. A new clarity will be brought in. Answers to problems will come to the surface easily. Everything will feel easier, happier, and lighter. So we advise you to wait and hang in there. To not let yourself drown in the overwhelm or the anxiety. To do what you can to know that this is a passing, fleeting time. Know that this energy is dense and it'll move through you and past you. Know that every day is a new day. Know that the dense energies are not permanent. Know that this is not a permanent way. Know there is a light and there is an end in sight. Have faith that this is just a season, just a cycle, and breathe through it, and breathe through it, breathe through it. I want to start off by saying that initially, the new energy or the new year didn't feel heavy or dense to me personally. However, I talked to several people who were facing life-changing issues, some people were feeling suicidal, some people were facing like big career changes, some people were facing like housing issues, money issues. There was like a lot of heaviness at the beginning of January. And then I felt called. I have changed the way I view and use social media. I'm not on there as often. I'm trying to just go on there and use like TikTok and Instagram as a way to spread my legacy of light, as we've talked about on here, when it's important, not just to make videos to make videos. So it's like when I feel called and when I feel like this is important to share. And so I did feel called to go on TikTok and share a short channeled message about the Lunar New Year, which was the new moon of January 2023. And I was told that through the messages that the new year energy doesn't really come into play until the new moon. So Lunar New Year is really like our new year. But, you know, depending on your personal religion or faith or beliefs, You may celebrate a new year at any time, really, and you may not even recognize this as 2023, right? But this is where I live, and this is kind of how I'm going for that. So anyway, so I was told that, and I went on and I shared about this because I just wanted to give people hope that, you know, I was instructed to share for the new moon for people to just list all the issues and problems and fears coming up for them, to light a candle, to burn it. And I was not feeling the heaviness that other people were feeling. However, I am definitely feeling it now. And it's coming up for me as, it's interesting. It's a lot of like past things I've done in the past that I'm not proud of. Not that I'm, you know, on the lam here, on the run for crimes I didn't get caught for or something. But being a formerly very anxious person and a people pleaser, there are things that, you know, I'm just not proud of. I just realized, like, the way I put the camera, you can see how my cats have destroyed my couch. So, you know, pet life. Anyway, so I've had a lot of that coming to the surface. I also I dabble in numerology, and 2023 is a 7-year, and 7 years bring up fears. So we're often in a 7-year facing fears and overcoming fears, and anxiety can feel heightened, but you have to pass through it, you have to move through it. And but a plus side to a 7-year is that we feel more psychic, and we start to have those kind of clairsenses open up and evolve. So that's exciting. So anyway, I didn't feel this heaviness that that's talked about in this reading until recently. And I can tell you, my son has been sick with so many different things, and it's just been it's felt, at times, January felt very overwhelming. I try not to give in to those feelings. But it felt very overwhelming. I was having these past moments bubbling up, and I'm like, why am I even thinking about this? I thought I let that go. It's just a lot. And then I always call on, I always use these certain cards to determine who to connect with every week, whether they be archangels or goddesses or whomever. And this week I pulled Kali, and the Kali Ma is the destroyer of the ego and the one that helps you face your fears. So I was like, wow, this is so interesting that we're being instructed about this heavy energy, about clearing our energy, and she comes through, because I look at her as the ultimate clearer of all negative energy, because she comes in with her many hands and her weapons to destroy the negativity, right? And it's interesting as well, because it talks about in here about this energy shift. And, you know, we've talked about in here before about some people call this the new earth that's coming through. Some people call it the age of Aquarius. In Hindu beliefs, the Kali, we are in the time of Kali right now. And she came in to correct the issues of basically things being too violent, too masculine. And I'm not against men. I just mean like doing and masculine energy, and not having a balance of the divine feminine. So she's come in to kind of correct that, and we're at the end of her cycle. So all these different belief systems are pointing to being at the end of this energy and this cycle, and now we're moving into something new. And so I think that there will be just time periods where we feel this way, where we're going to have overwhelm, anxiety, depression, fears, heaviness, just kind of sideswipe you maybe possibly. If you just be like, wow, I felt so good yesterday. Why am I feeling like this? There's so much going on, so much change energetically in the collective consciousness, with just like so many levels of change, that the energy has to shift and change, and it has to go through your body. And that's something that I think, we have to really recognize, is you're doing all the spiritual work, and you're, working with your energy body and chakras and praying and whatever you do, yoga, whatever you do that really helps your spiritual body, those things, all that energy still has to pass through your physical body. And that's where maybe the heaviness or the anxiety or things are. So instead of holding on to these feelings and just claiming them as your own, maybe recognizing, like, I wasn't feeling this way yesterday. Why am I feeling this way? And how can I, let this go through me? How can I release this? And those kinds of things. And they give you some ideas in here. Talk about using sacred smoke, Sacred smoke is a high quality incense or a dried herb that you use with intention to clear your space or clear your energy. You can use water the same way. I like a good salt bath, which is just like a good amount of Epsom salt with an essential oil of your choice. I prefer lavender and some crystals. You know, I like polished obsidian, because that can get sharp if it's not polished in the bath. To draw tourmaline, to draw out the negativity. Talked about yoga, which I'm just completing Adrienne's 30 days of yoga, which I really enjoyed center so much. I didn't get to complete it in time last year because I had a frozen shoulder. So it feels really exciting to be able to do a full 30 days again. This is my 5th year doing that. They talk about detoxing, like drinking lots of water, eating fruits and veggies. I know a lot of people use January as veganary. You know, some people like to dabble in veganism just for the month of January as a cleanse. Other people might do like a dry January where they don't drink alcohol. Think about what detox means to you. You know, it doesn't mean you have to give up anything you love or your favorite things, but maybe it just means drinking an extra glass of water every day or getting some extra sleep. It just seems like we're really being advised up until this full moon to really try to nourish and take care of ourselves, going outside if you can. I know some people it's not possible where you live, or it's really, really cold and you don't want to be outside. But basically, recognizing when these big energies and these big changes are coming through, that they're not just yours. And something that helps me is having a spiritual friend to check on. So I will, text this friend and I'll ask her, hey, I'm feeling this way today. Like, how are you feeling? And if it matches, because she lives in another state and is like a different sun sign and a different age, if that matches, then I know this is an energetic thing, right? And also just, sitting in meditation, asking like, is this anxiety solely mine, or is there something larger going on? And just quietly listening for an answer. I'm also going to link, I really like reading the astrology report from Wee Moons. I'm going to link that here as well, because I think that having a basic understanding of where the planets are and how they might affect you can also help you understand that the energies are temporary. So I just want to say, if you're feeling this heaviness or anything's coming up for you at this time, fear, anxiety, depression, overwhelm, it's important to recognize that it's temporary. We cycle through energies all the time. If you're a person that menstruates, you have this particular cycle that you're definitely going to see like a dip in energy and things coming to the surface that, probably like a luteal phase or something. Whereas, if you don't, you might recognize like the moon affects you. There's just like constantly cycling of energy. Everything's energy, right? And everything is going to affect you, and it goes into the body. There's a whole book about the body keeps the score. All the emotions get stored in the body, and we just gotta like recognize it, accept it, and then try to like detox it, push it out, right? As advised, yoga and walking out in nature. The earth is so grounding and so nice to be, just put your hands on a tree, put your bare feet on the ground, soak your feet if you don't have a bathtub in salt water. Anything that's just going to help you release. I think that's really the key, is just let this stuff go. And then it talks about once the full moon, which is on the 5th for most of us, the 5th of February, once that happens, then we're going to have all these answers. Because I know, like for me right now, I'm having a little bit of kind of brain fog and not really sure about certain things, and there's not a lot of clarity. And so you're going to find that once the full moon happens, which is a huge release every month for all of us, you're going to feel this lighter kind of feeling. I'm a little distracted. I have a bird feeder out the other side of this window, which maybe I'll show at the end so you can see, and they are just having a great time. It's like woodpeckers and jays constantly at war of like whose feeder it is. And then so just I want you to hang in there. I want you to know that energy is always temporary. I wish we could just hold on to like those moments when you just feel so light and free and good, But unfortunately, that's not how it is. And as you continue on your spiritual path, you'll be able to recognize more and more of these cycles, these patterns, and then you'll be able to clear them faster. You'll realize like, oh, this is not me, this is this and that, or whatever. And you'll be able to have that peace and know that it's okay, that this is something that doesn't belong to you and you don't have to hold on to it and you can let it go. I'm going to do a card reading. I got some new cards for Christmas. I'm excited to share with you. And in the card reading, I'm going to really focus on after the full moon. So I'll be asking about after the full moon, since this message was really only up, kind of focused on until February 5th. So stick around for that reading. Oh, I did want to mention that if you're not feeling the heaviness that other people are feeling, there's nothing wrong with you. Sometimes I share things like that and people will say, well, I'm not feeling that way. It's like, am I not spiritual? No, you maybe have already cleared the energy. So take solace in that. These are my new cards, tea leaf fortune cards. They're not new to others. Like, they've been around a bit. There's about 200 cards. So as you can see, I just have them in a big pile over here. I've shuffled them like little kid style because I have little hands and I just can't work with all those cards. They give you a bag to shuffle, but I find that doesn't actually work. So we'll be pulling those at the end. I have some Rebecca Campbell cards to start us off. And yeah, so we're really going to look at the energy after the full moon of February. I picked Rebecca Campbell's cards because I feel like we need some feminine softening messages. Okay, so we have transformation as a theme for February. Things are changing at a cellular level, deep healing. This is exactly what we're talking about, right? So we have this idea that, you know, this is universal energy and it's going through you. It's bringing us to a new age, a new time. So it's a transformation period. And I know this is hard for a lot of people because, you know, things can feel so permanent, but it's not, right? So it's transformation time. Unbound, releasing soul patterns, contracts, past lives. So here we go again, right? So part of this transformation is the releasing of this old energy, anything stuck. You know, your past lives are, and your future lives and your current life are all going on at the same time. They're multidimensional. I'll let you sit on that for a moment. Think about that. And so when you heal in this life, you heal all those lives. So there's a lot of past life healing going on, which explains a lot of the heaviness and also explains if you're having strange dreams. I know I've been having very vivid dreams, and also having past issues come up for you. These are things I thought I healed that. You did, but you're being asked to clear it again. Take a break. A life's work, not a season. Get off the treadmill. Okay, so also talking about how this is the season right now of needing to rest, needing to take care of ourselves. And so I guess it's going to continue through February after the full moon as well. So we're going to have, I love that there's a full moon here, and there's another moon. All this moon energy, it's really affecting us, which is why I picked a feminine deck. And the initiation. Ooh, we're crossing a threshold. This is exciting. You know, I feel, you know, I feel that we chose to incarnate at this time for a reason. And there's a lot of people that are, you know, you would call like a light worker or a starseed or a spiritual person in general. There's a lot of us incarnating and waking up at this time, I think, to help shift, right? And so we are doing that. We have this rite of passage. There's a rite of this initiation. So I would love to know, you know, what that is for you. You know, if something happens this month, please tell me. You can tell me on here or my email that's linked to my YouTube. Believe it or not, I actually check, because I've had people on TikTok leave me messages in the email and they're surprised that I'm like actually email them back. But I'm a real person. I'm not a robot. So, all right, let's see. Loosen your grip. So this is so similar to take a break, but also look at the pictures, the same artist, but very similar idea of just trust falling, right? So loosen your grip, coping mechanism, density, right? This is everything, let God in. So this is what we need to do for the whole month. We're going to clear this energy by trusting God, the divinity, whatever you call God, and then loosening the grip, not holding on so tight. That's something that I've really struggled with in my life, but I feel like I'm finally turned a corner on that, where I'm in a state of trust more than I'm not. So It feels good, let me say. Okay, forge, don't follow. Pave a new path. Be the leader you wish you had. Ugh. Yes, let's not just take like the way things are as they are. There's so many beautiful young people in this world who are already making changes, and those of us who aren't super young, we can still do the same. We don't have to follow the pattern or follow the, this is what was always done, or this is what is considered well-mannered, or whatever. We can forge our own. It's time for us to step up and really lead just by example, simply by bringing your own bags to the grocery store. You're letting other people know, like, I'm not doing this, I'm not buying into plastic. Or simple act of smiling but meaning it, like a really meaningful, kind smile to someone is going to perhaps shift their whole day, their whole energy. Little things like, donating money, even a small amount, to a charity you really believe in. There's so many little acts that you can do every single day that make it so you're not following your parents' path or anybody else's. You're forging. I love that. Lifting the veil. Oh, wow. This definitely goes. I love that this is all going together. Questioning everything. So we're not following, we're forging, and anything unaligned must go is part of our crossing our threshold. So you are asking yourself this month, what is no longer serving you? What's holding you back? What fears are keeping you down? What walls have you placed around your heart? What needs to go? And then release it. Release it on that full moon and keep releasing it. Sometimes you have to do it a few times. Remember, this is a spiral path of healing. Child of the cosmos, the intelligence of the universe lies within you. Don't forget this. You are your own best guide. Okay? Always, 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 always. Put that next to my special stone from a friend. And last is portal. Oh my gosh, so much portal energy, right? Doors are opening, you decide rewards. Wild card. This is my favorite card to get because it just means like anything can happen. I really feel that way about 2023. I keep doing readings for other people and myself for the year, and it just seems like such a crazy year for each person. Like there's some big shift that I'm seeing in every person's life that I didn't see in the readings for last year. There's always changes and everything. I'm not talking like big stuff, career, relationships, whatever. There's big, good changes coming in, I believe, for all of us. It's just a rocky start to the year. Okay, so I'm gonna pull a few of these. These are kind of fun. Seahorse, family matters. Right? And so this is cute because I like that we're being told to kind of unbound and release past lives, but taking a break, I feel like definitely goes with. And seahorse might mean something else to you personally, right? They're actually my favorite sea animal. Handshake. A meeting with a stranger could be important. Again, we have this wild card. So there's some energy coming in where we just don't know. And I keep getting for my own self that certain connections are going to prove to do something important for me later in this year. So I'm just continuing to be friendly, seeing what's going on. Chain of events that will affect your life. Well, that's intense in a good way, right? So yeah, it seems like February is a turning point for a lot of us in the month. Dagger, fear, worries, intense situations. Yeah, this is what we've been talking about, right? This is what's coming to the surface for a lot of us, and it is like a dagger. Like sometimes we stab our own selves in the back with these fears, right? So we gotta release them, and we gotta just know this is temporary, right? I'll pull a few more. I think these are fun. Bowl, plenty of material things. Counting our blessings, being grateful. This is not a month to focus on buying stuff and looking for new stuff. Like take inventory, kind of think about what you've got, take a break, right? Take a break. We'll do 2 more. Older man, dealings or relationships with an older man. This could be you if you are an older man, or it could be someone in your life. Could also be like an ascended master or a guide that's coming in for you, if you've had someone pass away. So older man, important to you. And last, pig, be aware of greed. This definitely goes with plenty of material things. Okay, so February is not a month to go and looking for new things, buying new things. It's time to take stock of what you've got before shopping for something new and spending money. So we want to all kind of be more cautious with how we're spending, I think, this month. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you like my new cards. Let me know how this connects to you in the comments. Let me know what you'd like to see more of. Please like, please subscribe, please share with a friend. That actually means a lot if you could share with a friend. I just love to have people the more people that hear this, the more it means to me. So thank you for watching.